Welcome, Mr. Oscar Wilde. Thank you for joining us today. I know you have a really busy schedule, and we appreciate that you found the time to answer a couple questions for us. Where did you go to school?
Well, I actually went to school, I started off at boarding school for 6 years in Reading, and then after that I went to a school in Dublin called Trinity College, and then not long after that I actually went to Oxford, which is a very prestigious university in London, England.
Okay. What did you do after you graduated from Oxford College, you said?
Well, actually, at first I returned to Dublin for a while, met my childhood sweetheart, and then I actually moved and met another lady called Bram Stoker, who actually went on to write Dracula, so she actually went on to be very famous and write a very, very good novel.
Okay. And what was your first job after that?
Oh, first job. Oh, there it is. My first job, I was actually a journalist for 4 years, and I did the majority of my work in London. It was very interesting, a very good time actually. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, London. Interesting. I didn't know that. What was it like to that time to live in a major city like London?
Living in London, extravagant, very extravagant. I did a lot of wine and dining. Met some very, very sophisticated people. I was able to do this because just after I wrote The Countess of Padua, I had a lot of disposable income to my disposal, and as I said, I did a lot of wine and dining. I had such a great time, and I wish I could go back there.
Yeah, I bet. Known for being very witty and flamboyant dresser and a glittering conversationalist, how did you develop this?
Well, the development process took a while. I just sort of picked up on different fashions from living in London. I was in Paris for a while later in my life, and I picked a lot of dress sense up from there. Conversationally and literature-wise, I gained a lot of my experience just from speaking to people like you, like very well knowledgeable, good English speakers, and basically it just develops over time. It's not something you can just get overnight. It was acquired over, as I said, a period of time.
Okay. In one of your most famous plays, The Importance of Being Earnest, you used the theme of bun-burying a lot. How did you come up with the double life idea?
The double life, bun-burying. It was a lot of thought, a lot of time and effort, but I sort of wanted to give my two characters the opportunity to get away from their real lives and have a bit of a release, because they wanted to. I personally wanted to live two separate lives. I did live two separate lives. I had a wife and family, wife and children. As many of you are aware of, I was actually gay, and this was like, I felt like I need to reflect in my play, not in the sexual orientation way, but just in, it's sort of like linked to the play and linked with my own life, and I felt like giving them the opportunity to get away from the reality and having like I say, a release and something different. I felt like it was me, it was from within basically.
What is the purpose of art to you, such as in plays like The Importance of Being Earnest?
Very deep question. Art to me is very meaningful. I feel as though it's a guide to life, something to follow. It's never perfect, but yet it's always independent and it's always unique. And I felt like the importance of earnest concerned itself with me, with the concern of double life and the concept of double life. I felt it represented me, and I was basically pursuing something which I could never really live like, which was very frustrating to me.
Yeah, that's very interesting. This might be a bit of a personal question, but it's not, all people might not know that you were put in prison. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, not one of the most, how can I say, proud moments of my life. But basically, I was put in prison, unfortunately, because I was sought as being gay, it's a very touchy subject, and for a while I was actually paying male prostitutes, which was obviously not the right thing to do, and I'm very deeply saddened by my actions.
Thank you. One last question now. How did you die?
How did I die? Well, unfortunately, I developed cerebral meningitis, and my mind was all over the place, and I eventually overdosed on morphine and unfortunately passed away.